Happy Sunday brunch, beautiful souls. Happy Sunday brunch. We haven't gotten to a JD Vance presidency yet, and you guys are already asking about whether or not he's going to be impeached. I don't think so. I think that he's going to come in and run the country. I think Donald Trump is on his way out. I think it was a combined hit. I think that the Republicans and Democrats worked together. I think that Trump knows that and is becoming increasingly paranoid. So, what happens in a situation like that, from his perspective, they've been planning to take him out for a while. Now, that could be his own mental health problems that are causing him to feel that way. But that is what they're saying. Okay. Let me see if this works. I'm just getting my stuff set up for you guys so that you can see the stream. I'm going to have to silence it because of echo. It does something weird sometimes. Gives me a weird echo. How is everybody? Staying safe? Okay, that's good. Just getting this ready. Very good. If the president, oh, it sounds like I'm making noise here. Hello. Well, I'm still getting that echo. Cannot get rid of the echo. Anybody hearing an echo? No, it should be fine. Should be just fine. Hello, campers. How's your weather? So tonight is the first night of Hanukkah when we pray for miracles. We pray that the light come in to the world, that the light shine on the world, the light of God, the light of God's mercy and compassion shine on the world to everyone. And unfortunately, there was another anti-Semitic attack that happened on Bondi Beach the first night of Hanukkah when the rabbi went to light the candles, was shot and killed along with several other people. The gunman was neutralized, as they say, by a regular Australian bloke who saw the situation and had access to a gun somehow and neutralized him. So the killer is from Pakistan and he was targeting Jews. He ended up, I think, killing 8 and wounding several more. Whatever's wrong in your life, it isn't you, it's the Jews, right? That's how anti-Semitism works. It's the insanity of anti-Semitism, you know. Your life sucks. And so you join some kind of conspiracy theory. Doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right. Everybody feels better when they can say it's the fault of the Jew. It's not my fault. My life sucks. It's got to be the Jew. The Jews are behind it, right? So, yeah, we live in a world where, has anybody ever been a scapegoat in your own life where people decide that they're going to dump on you or abuse you? Were you ever the scapegoat in your own family? I grew up in a family where everybody was a scapegoat, you know. And it can really mess with your head because you can't figure out why you keep getting targeted, right? So if you too have been a scapegoat, then I'm sure you can relate to why that's not cool. How is everybody? Getting ready for the holidays? Tonight we light the first candle. Like I said, we're asking for miracles, peace on earth, that, if Donald Trump steps down, we want a peaceful transition to the Vance presidency, right? So I know a lot of you are not happy about Vance, but he appears to be the next person who's going to be president of the United States, right? Right or wrong has nothing to do with it. We're not in charge. It has everything to do with power and who has power and who's losing power. And who has power and is losing power is the Republicans. The Republicans are losing power. But for the time being, it's yeah, they've got the power. There's a song that's out right now called "It's the Jews," and it might be a little too controversial for me to show here. And I'm trying to move away from controversy. But if you want to see a satire song about how everything is the fault of the Jews, you can vote on it. It's called "It's the." The guy has a New York accent, so it's called Jews, Joos. It's a little bit controversial, but oh, they rejected me on my own platform. That's interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Why am I getting rejected on my own platform? Oh, there it goes. A satire song. Yeah. For whatever reason, it rejected the former one. Oh, let me go ahead and give you guys a link to it. You guys want to watch it? It's controversial, but it's a little bit controversial because he makes fun of the extreme left and the extreme right. It's called "No Matter What's Wrong in Your Life, It's Not You, It's the Jews." Blame it on the Jews. The problem is I couldn't get the song out of my head because he did it with artificial intelligence and he's got this cool accent like from the Bronx. And oh, hold on. You guys want to see it? It's fun. Pro-Palestinian marchers might be a little offended. But yeah, here it is. You guys can watch it. This will be our song while people find their way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Left wing
student with a placard and a frown says the world's on fire, but she can't put it down. Landlords, greedy daddies mean the Wi-Fi's slow. There must be someone pulling strings behind the show. She scrolls all night, the rabbit hole gets deep. Found a grainy meme that never lets her sleep. When your life's a mess and you're feeling rather small, we got the perfect cure to make you 10 feet tall. Losers, grifters, basket cases, every color, every creed, all the angry faces. Whatever's wrong in your life, it ain't you, it's the juice. It's the juice. Blame it on the juice. It's the juice. It's the juice. Feel better now, don't you? Griper in his bedroom, pay on the wall. Says the West has fallen and he's gonna take the fall. Girlfriend left him for a bloke who has a job. Globalists did it with their evil bank rob. He's got the charts, the graphs, the triple brackets too. 14 words and 88 will see him through. When your life's a mess and you're feeling rather small, we've got the perfect cure to make you 10 feet tall. Losers, grifters, basket cases, every color, every creed, all the angry faces. Whatever's wrong in your life, it ain't you, it's the juice. It's the juice. Blame it on the juice. It's the juice. It's the juice. Feel better now, don't you? Back in 1400, the well went bad. The crops all failed and the priest was mad. The plague came rolling through the town. Quick, find a scapegoat, drag him down. Blood libel, matzah, all the old cliches, still doing numbers in 2025 ways. Hey! Imam on the telly, veins popping in his neck, says the Zionists control the weather. What the heck? Hamas lost again, the rocket misfired. Must be Mossad with a secret wire. From Tehran to Talks Tip, same old tune. Different century, still howling at the moon. Losers, grifters, basket cases, every color, every creed, all the angry faces. Whatever's wrong in your life, it ain't you, it's the juice. It's the juice. Blame it on the juice. It's the juice. It's the juice. Feel better now, don't you? Oi! It's the juice. Honest go. It's the juice.
A quick message.
All right, little bit attacking the left and the right there, wasn't he? He was anytime anti-Semitism finds its way into a movement, sometimes noble movements wanting freedom for people, equality, for them to have their own homeland. These are noble things to fight for, but anti-Semitism unfortunately can find its way into even noble causes, right? So yeah, it's a controversial video, but I really like the dun 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 dun. Dun. It's a dun. Oh my God, I got a little dot on me now from that hat. Oh my. So how is everybody? How is everybody? Good to see you all. Blessings. It is the 14th. We're just getting together. We're talking about everything that's going on in the news. This is our brunch. We get together for about an hour, hour and a half. We do blitzes. We do a community reading. I know everyone enjoys that. And we've been getting together for at least 5 years now, possibly longer, since my time in Los Angeles. When I used to live over in LA, I had a private practice, but I've since shut the practice down and moved to Portland, Oregon, which is the town I grew up in, and grew up here. And then at 15, moved to Seattle and spent the rest of my teens in Seattle. So I was in Seattle for about 3 years as well. So I'm a Pacific Northwest girl. Be sure and tell us where you're coming from, what you eating, what you drinking, how you doing, and what you plan on doing for the holidays. What do you plan on doing for the holidays? Anybody staying in? Anybody traveling? Anybody leaving the country? Fulfilling your dream of visiting the Mexican Riviera? I highly recommend it. I highly recommend the Mexican Riviera. Norwegian is great. They're environmentally friendly, which we love. They've gotten rid of plastic. They've done a lot of really great things for the environment, Norwegian Cruise Line. So you want to be, when you're cruising, you want to be always aware of the environmental record. And they care very much about the fish. So we like that. Them and Disney. But the problem with Disney is you got kids everywhere and you're trying to get away from, at least I am. I don't want a bunch of kids on the cruise. So I tend to go, uh, trying to get this positioned just perfect for you guys. Awesome. I tend to go Norwegian where it's more adults, seniors and adults, singles, a lot of singles. So what you eating, what you drinking? Looks like Joel Tilson, our floor director, is enjoying 60 degrees abundant sunshine and no wind in Cheyenne. That's surprising considering everything that was going on over there. Yeah, you guys had some rough weather, didn't you? Let's see if this goes here. Just playing with this a little bit. Yeah, I guess it's going to be cold everywhere. Y'all are getting really awful weather coming in. Why am I having trouble with my thing today? I want it to be perfect. I guess that's pretty good. So admit it, now you heard that song and now you've got a song worm floating in your head. That song gave me the biggest song worm. Let's go ahead. We're going to do the empath's prayer, and then I think what we're going to do is the collective reading. In terms of remote views, I was told in the meditation that Trump's career would be finished in 5 months, and that was, I believe, July 17th, which would be in 3 days. It would be approximately 5 months. So now, my feeling is that if he is as sick as people say he is, then it's unlikely he can do long distance travel. He won't be able. Now, can Americans adapt to a president that cannot take overseas? I don't think RFK did many overseas trips, right? I mean, not RFK. FDR. I don't think FDR took many international trips. He can fly around America as long as it's no more than 4 hours, and he needs ample downtime, so he could visit a place like Pennsylvania, and he could do spend some time there before he gets back on the plane and flies to some place like California. So he would have to have a stop in between, and the only way he would be able to pull it off without Americans knowing it is if he visited Canada and did like some trip where he visited Canada and then Toronto and then decided to visit Iceland and then spend a few days there. But even that would be really rough for him, this continuing flying with all of his health problems. I just don't see it. Yeah, Midwest is getting that freeze. Yeah, the polar, what are they calling? What are they calling it when the polar comes in? But it's supposed to be like the coldest winter in U.S. history is coming this year, so that'll be interesting. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be impeached. Don't you think everybody just kind of feels sorry for him if he has to just go crawl into bed and hide from the cold in Mar-a-Lago, too sick to function? There's ways that they are covering up things like his limp, like they're making sure he's seated and comfortable before the press comes in, and they're covering up signs of illness. They're covering up his hands, they're covering up his feet. And then he orders the press out. And then when they're out, he can find a way out of his chair. But they're doing a lot to not cover him walking too much. Walking from climbing stairs is probably becoming I don't know how he's going to be climbing those Air Force One stairs. That's gotta be difficult with his health problems. Yeah, I mean, imagine having that kind of edema, you're limping, you're in pain. He hasn't been himself since he had I think, a stent placed. I feel really sorry for Erica, Kirk. Her husband has been brutally murdered, and I just see a woman whose husband has been brutally murdered that's being attacked in social media, regardless of whether you think she has crazy ideas or not. I think it's beyond cruel and inappropriate to attack a widow whose husband's just been shot and killed in front of everybody. And I bring it down to the emotional level, and I think we all have to move away from politics and brutality because I see it happening with Democrats now too. "Well, I don't give it." Like, woe be it to the person that gets to the mental state where somebody's just watched their husband get shot and killed and they're, "Ah," with kids, and it's like, "Well, I don't care because I don't like your politics." You're in a bad way. Go take care of yourself because you should care. Um, we have far too many guns. Yes, I know he advocated for the thing that killed him, but that again isn't the point. The point is just in terms of raw human emotions, a human being's husband has been shot and killed, and she's a fellow human being. Maybe she has strange, crazy ideas, but um, I can't imagine the horror of going through that anymore. And just like I don't approve of people that made jokes about Jacqueline Kennedy when she was trying to get away from her husband being shot and killed. You know, what was going through her mind? The instinct to stay alive, right? So, I hope it's a good future, and I hope she marries a good man that's going to help her raise her kids and move away from extremism, all extremism. Oh, good, I'm so glad. Where are you located that you're freezing? Yeah, it's probably not good for you, seeing Morris, to kinda have to it's better for us to try and move towards, just love yourself and take care of your friends and family and vote your conscience, but move away from this kind of violent energy that we're all experiencing. Oh, dear. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay. Yeah, have you guys seen this film footage that came out of North Korea recently? It's really pretty horrible. It makes you realize, has anyone seen it? People they're starving to death because they couldn't get food in, particularly during COVID, and people just lie down on the side of a road and die, and it's like, "Okay, he's dying. This person's dying, just starving to death," and it made me realize that sometimes we in the West are manufacturing our unhappiness because we are not probably in that situation. Oh, I got a little spot there. Annoying. Ah, okay. Noticed a little spot. Yeah. A lot of crazy going on. Yeah. Hi, Wendy. Yeah, so welcome to the tribe, Queenie. Now, do you keep kosher and Shabbos and all that other good stuff? Probably, you're like me. Can't say no to a good prosciutto. You want a miracle for America? I totally agree. I wonder if we could do a turkey prosciutto. I bet that, that would be kosher, right? But would it have enough fat? I don't know. Oh, you bought red rice yeast? Well, it has the active ingredient, monocolin K, which is the isolate. The statin has been removed from commercial red rice yeast, so it probably won't do anything. because the active ingredient was removed by the FDA to push you towards buying their drugs. So, yes, red rice yeast works just as well, but they won't make any money. So, they've removed the monocolin K. The only way you can get monocolin K in your red rice is if you buy red rice as a commercial food product. You grow it on rice yourself and store it in the refrigerator and then add it to your cooking so that you have a statin every day. Yeah. Oh, wow. Got to hear that one. Hope you guys liked it. A little bit controversial. Oh, bacon and eggs? Yeah, I feel bad for the pig. It's also really bad for your heart. Try some of the turkey and the vegetarian. It's not that bad. Oh, good. Going to San Antonio. Nice. Well, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead. We'll do the empath prayer. We'll start with a collective reading. Would everyone like to have a collective reading today? Yeah, would that be fun? All right, let's do it. And of course, if you have a prayer and you would like, if you are suffering, you're having any kind of challenge and you need us to pray for you, I know that everyone here would love to join in a prayer for you. So, those of you who need prayers, please give us your name or the name of someone you love, and then we will include them in our prayers today. Well, the rain took away the dust, and that took away my cough, so I'm very grateful for that. The dust and the mold, it's more the dust, that really, particularly if I'm working in my garden, that can really that was I just yeah. But the good news is we had so much rain that it cleared a lot of my cough, so I'm very grateful. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to do the empath prayer. Again, if you or someone you love would like to receive a healing at this time, please give us your name or their name, and we will pray for them. All right, quilting, how lovely. Let's go ahead. We'll bring the empath prayer in. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say, Amen. And for those of you who are seeking a healing at this time, we come together and we pray. We pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed. May all souls be healed. Blessings. Great to see you here. Thank you for your compassion and support of this channel when I had my own health challenges a couple weeks ago. Means a lot to me. All right, let's get this party on the road. I'm excited, friends. I am excited. Why is that showing it that way? That seems awfully strange. Huh, that's weird. My camera on the other one is backwards, which is kind of interesting. Makes for an interesting picture. All right, today is I want to put this somewhere I want you guys to enjoy the candle, but then when I put the candle there, you're not going to be able to have your nice readings. Oh, well. Something there. There we go. All right, let's see what's going on for the week. This is the collective reading for you and the community. If any part of this doesn't fit, just go ahead and send it down the line. It's like a beautiful Sunday lunch slash early dinner where you all get together and you cook right after church or whatever. So it's like past the fried chicken, the mac and cheese. I'm definitely getting some of that. Mashed potatoes and gravy. Hello. Beach cobbler. I love that kind of food. Real food. Food that tastes like food. Not that healthy stuff. No, just kidding. Anybody ever been to Miss Wilkes boarding house in where is that? Savannah, Georgia? You wait in line to go eat. Delicious, delicious, delicious. There's like 20 things. They serve about 20 things. You all eat together. It's groups in groups. And yeah, it's delicious. They have spare ribs, fried chicken, mac and cheese, beans, hocks and beans, ham hocks and beans. I mean, just it's a proper Southern lunch. It's absolutely amazing. All right, where we are at right now, we are entering into a time of the Four of Cups. Do not pass go. You got to go, Mr. President. You can't stay. You cannot stay. I am sorry. I am sorry. 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 Sorry, don't cut it. But we have a president that has to go bye-bye. Mr. President, the duty has fallen on me to inform you that we have reached a consensus in the Senate. Now we give you the honor of resigning, or they're going to issue Article 25, and your ass is going to be removed. We can't have any more of these shenanigans. Four of Cups is a state where a person refuses the offer. And so we could be finding ourselves entering a time of the stalemate when people don't want to. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to agree with you. It's a real stalemate kind of energy. I don't want to cooperate. Also, I think that we talked about the phases of grief for President Trump. These people love President Trump. And you go through a phase of denial. He's healthier than ever. He's shaking hands. He's out there doing his thing. He's talking to people and making no sense, right? So there is this kind of feeling that there was denial. And then the president started to get angry, right? Started attacking people. You're a low-life person. You know that? You and your fake news, right? Usually he's been hostile before, but now it's really ramped up. So he's entering into that period of anger. And then they're going to go into fear mode, which is I'm terrified. I'm losing control. The GOP is losing control. The GOP is losing control of their candidate as he comes into fear. The other thing that's terrifying for Donald Trump is that he is terrified that they are gathering evidence to be used against him later, which is why he has to take all these cognitive tests. They're scanning his brain, they're scanning his body. It's like they're looking for trouble. And he knows that, which creates an incredible vulnerability in Donald Trump. That they could take hands on me. They're going to put hands on me and they're going to take me away. I don't want to be taken away. I don't want a 10 of wands. He had the 10 of wands. I'm agoraphobic. I want to stay in Mar-a-Lago. You can't hurt me. You won't take me to the funny farm. It's that kind of a fear. The biggest fear for Trump, he must have seen his father at one point in his father's life institutionalized. Something must have happened to his father that was horrifying for Trump. Seeing him hauled off and taken to some kind of mental facility for seniors with Alzheimer's. Something like that must have happened because the wound exists inside Trump when I do remotes. They're gonna do it to me now. They're coming for me. They're gonna like my father. I don't want it. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible energetic place to be in. So right now, everybody in your personal life and also in the public, there is this feeling that no, you're wrong, I'm right. There's just no give back and forth. However, a great celebration is upon us. This is a strange Christmas. It's a Christmas that goes with unanswered questions, perhaps. Like, we don't know what the heck is going on, but we're pretty sure that this presidency is over because a great celebration is upon us. The karma card is the Three of Cups. And as you know, I always take a second card. I take a card from the base. And I do that because we all have karma, things that we have to fulfill in this lifetime. But the karma of the nation, what we are entering into, what we are accumulating towards is a great celebration. And I can't help but feel that we're all thrilled, like a lot of us are thrilled that the chaos is coming to an end. And where we are at right now is slow and steady wins the race, a time of potentially things ending. What was has ended. So whatever's going on in your personal life, you could be seeing endings of relationships. This is the energy of endings, right? This is the time of endings. And I think next year is going to be very active. I also think that there's a new optimism that's going to be hitting the country in terms of new jobs and new opportunities. Ace of Wands is coming in. That's a good omen. It would be more jobs and more opportunities, entrepreneurship, get up and go. If it's your own life, you could be seeing increases in your business, increases in your side hustle, increases in money coming in. I'm slowly seeing recovery, and Spirit has a message for all of you, and that is the president doesn't matter. The economic devastation globally of COVID was always going to take years to recover from, regardless of who was in the White House. And much of this recovery had to do with COVID. People couldn't sell their products because the factories in China were shut down. That was another reason why prices went up. It was harder and people had to move. They had to take their business to other places. They were looking at Vietnam, they were looking at India and Cambodia, other places that they could move their businesses. So everything took a hit. Even without the tariffs, everybody's business suffered because of COVID. And Spirit is saying it was always going to take us 5 to 7 years to come out of the economic devastation of COVID, regardless of tariffs. The greater issue is that millions of people died, factories were shut down, China was shut down, and the global and economic impact was always going to take years to come out of. But the next 2 years, we see a slow, steady return of business. Joe Biden did the best frickin' job. He did a miracle considering everything that was going on, where they were just letting people die, right? So very good point. So it was a disaster. To give everybody some slack, you have to realize the whole entire world suffered economically. America did better than many other countries because the whole world was economically shut down. So one of the things that Spirit wants people to understand is stop the game blame back. And if there's anybody that's going to be blamed, it should be China for whether it most likely was a leak from the Wuhan lab. I think it's absolutely absurd that the Wuhan lab is there doing experimenting on COVID, and this crazy strain comes out that has parts of it that look like HIV, and it's floating around that could not exist in nature, and there just happens to be a lab there. I think they were experimenting with vaccinating against HIV. Because theoretically, if a person gets a mild cold and your body builds an immune response to it, and part of the code is HIV, then theoretically your antibodies would be revved up for that code. So you wouldn't just be immunized against COVID. You would be, by getting that infection, you would have also had some protection against HIV. I think that theoretically, that's what they were looking at, taking viruses, strands of viruses, putting on an HIV, putting it up your nose or what. That's probably what happened. And it probably got leaked before it was ready, and it led to a huge health crisis. Yeah, so we're entering into a time that's actually pretty abundant. To be honest with you, the cards would indicate abundance. A number of reasons why. First off, Ace of Wands is you have this slow and steady wins the race. So it's slow going, I think, for the economy. Knight of Pentacles is slow, steady, be the banker. But within a month, you have that Ace of Wands. For me, I read as months. I know some of you read it as 6 months, the old witches, because a tree ring takes 6 months. It doesn't take a month. A tree ring takes 6 months. I get it. So they would say, no, 6 months. I know the old school witches, but what can I tell you? I'm a new school witch. I go with 1 month. So regardless of whether you read it as 1 month or old school witches, it's a 6 month, it's a one tree ring. I'm counting one tree ring, right? The next 6 months, we're seeing a steady 1 month, a steady 1 month to 6 months, a steady increase in business and entrepreneurship. The other thing that we're sitting in is the High Priestess, which means that a lot of us are pursuing higher ideals, higher spiritual paths, and this too will bode well for you in terms of your home, in terms of your family, and in terms of your finances. The hidden ways give birth to wealth. You can see also this Empress moving into the 4th position, and that is also quite auspicious for everyone. It would indicate that a treasure trove that ever overflows is Gaia. Gaia is the treasure trove that ever overflows, right? If we love her and nurture her, she feeds the world. So the Empress is abundance, it's artistic, it's creativity. And again, this juxtaposition, we're moving towards wealth. And the higher ideals, the higher ethos, or the higher wisdom is what we sit in. And we're coming out of the Lovers, a time of looking towards God and to higher ideals, reach across the aisle, treat everyone with respect as you would wish to be treated. Avoid toxic persons, even if they're family. No one has the right to abuse you. It's difficult to end long-term relationships with family members, but there's no reason to hang out with people that don't respect you simply because they're biologically related to you or related to you through marriage or whatever. You don't have to put up with it, and you don't have to be cruel. You can say, I believe you're a good person, but I can't have you in my life anymore. And so I bless you and send you on your way. I have been the person that's been sent on the way. I have been the toxic, crazy person, right? And I have been on the other end of it where I was the person being abused. So all we can do from our collective experiences is try and do better, try and be kind, love yourself, give yourself the compassion you didn't get when you were growing up. Be your good mother. Be that good mother. If your mother wasn't there to hold you when you were a child, hold yourself. Apologize to that child. I'm so sorry that the people that were supposed to protect you weren't there for you. I'm so sorry. I'm there for you now. Love yourself the way you should have been loved, if that is the wound. But don't keep re-abusing yourself by entering into toxic relationships. End of relationships, Knight of Pentacles, coming out of Lovers and entering into a time of healing. Archangel Raphael comes to us as the Page of Cups to teach us about health and healing. Each angel is assigned a different purpose for the world, but the purpose of Archangel Raphael is to heal the wounded. And so in addition to economic improvement, I'm very happy to see the economic improvements we're going to be coming into in the next 6 months, that nice Ace of Wands. We are also coming into a period of deep friendship and healing. I love the fact that Raphael has the fish The fish in Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year's, the fish with the fish head is eaten because it's an idea that you see everything in Kabbalah. The fish can see from 360 degrees. He can see everything. The wisdom of the fish who can see 360 degrees. That's why the fish head is served on Rosh Hashanah, fish head soup. It's the symbol of it. And some people actually eat it. They pick at it, the little parts that are still good. Um, or you can just do a whole fish. A lot of people in Rosh Hashanah, they will like bake a whole salmon and then you eat the salmon and it has the head. But delicious. Yeah, but that is Raphael, and that is the message of Raphael. So a great healing is upon the nation. Great healing is upon the nation. And we pray for those people who are in government, right? We pray for our president. We pray for everybody, even if we may not agree with them or like their politics. We certainly don't want to see the president having a meltdown, losing his mind, getting physically sick, not being able to walk. It's upsetting to see the president like that, right? We don't want to see our president like that, whether we voted for him or not. And so now is the time to request a great healing, and we're coming into the time of strength. Focus on your health, focus on your healing to the best of your ability. Why do you think strength and health are such a big issue coming into the coming weeks? What do you think's going on with that? Why do we see both the archangel of health and healing, Raphael, typified by the Page of Cups, and then our immediate environment is strength and focusing on health? What do you think is going on there? Do you think that the time has come for the nation to heal? Do you think that could you see it as a public health crisis? Is that one way that you might view what we have gone through these couple years with COVID and the former presidency and healing? Takes 7 years. They said it would take 7 years for our economy to rebound, 5 to 7 years. So COVID hit in the summer of, I believe it was 2021. That was when we went into isolation. We started seeing the economic implications starting around July. Restaurants closed down. You remember that? Who all had a business shut down, right? That's an economic impact on the world that we all felt. So how long does it take you to start again and rebuild and get your money back from the business you lost? It takes 5 to 7 years. So that was only 4 years ago, right? So we have to give ourselves grace as a country, regardless of what's going on, and that we are still healing. But the good news is, Spirit is saying in this 4th year, we are now headed towards strength and healing, and the threat is dissipating, and the economy, the economic, we want to blame Biden. We want to blame Trump. We want to blame, and to some extent we can blame people in charge. But what the universe is trying to say is stand back and look at the world objectively. The world was devastated 4 years ago. Millions of people died. Millions of businesses shut down, and tens of billions and trillions of dollars were lost. And there were multiple lawsuits against China because of it, which also took an economic hit because China was suffering, right? And that we live in a global economy. So at 4 years, we're starting to see that robust healing, everybody working to try and see what they can do to heal all those businesses that were lost. Anybody hear about the fires that took place in California last year? Was it last year or the year or this year? This summer? I think it was last year. And they believe some people were torching their businesses deliberately so that they could get fire money because businesses were so dead and they never recovered from COVID. The other thing was that everybody started ordering online, right? So all of that had an economic path. Oh, we get our wish. Opposition, we get our wish. So again, this would be quite auspicious and it would speak to economic improvements. Yeah, we're headed towards an upswing, folks. We're headed towards an upswing in a really great way. And a lot of it's going to be in the health of the nation, your physical health, my physical health, and the physical health of the nation. Hopes and fears that poverty never come back again. The poverty and fear that came with COVID and the presidency and everything else. A great nation will be rebuilt. A great nation will be rebuilt. That is the message from Spirit. Ten of Pentacles is the card of inheritance. Ten of Pentacles is the card of inheritance. And when you see it, it's talking about your inheritance. And it has a good part to it. It has a good aspect and it has a bad aspect. What are the good aspects and what are the bad aspects? The good aspects are everybody likes to inherit money or wealth or a home or something. The parents die and we start thinking, and parents start to feel really, I start feeling depressed. My nephew's like, when's she going to die? Well, the longer I live, the more money I'll be able to make to leave my nephew, right? He's inheriting everything. But Ten of Pentacles is about what we have inherited. So it goes back to this idea also of the karma of the world we currently inhabit. You know, we have inhabited a world of stubbornness and disinformation and viruses and foreign involvement and AI shutting down jobs. So there's a lot going on. But the takeaway here is that we will be okay. You know, to have a karma card of the Three of Cups is quite auspicious. It means a great celebration is upon us. And the nation is healing. I see a new man coming in that will heal the nation. I think the world will respond. There's blessings and joy in the world, and a new man is coming to our lives. There's this new energy of peace. We don't need somebody in the White House that wants to pick fights. I think Gavin Newsom is funny. I don't think that's what the nation needs. I think we need a true leader like Joe Biden, a younger Joe Biden, somebody that can lead the nation, can reach across the aisle. I think Buttigieg is the perfect pick. That's who I'm going to be voting for in the primary when it comes up. I've already decided it's Buttigieg because we need somebody that can get on Fox. He scores very high. He scores a 65% on Fox. So I don't think sexual orientation is going to be as big of a problem as people. Everybody knows somebody gay. And most gay people are nice. So I don't think most people have trauma from their gay friends, right? It's I don't think it's going to work against them. I think it could be somebody like that because I like this King of Cups that's moving into the future who comes with strength and healing. Some people think that it could be J.D. Vance, but I think that J.D. Vance is too divisive because he's going to have to work very hard to not be a lame duck president. And I think he will be the next president. Hopes and fears, diplomacy. The Knight of Cups is the knight on the white horse, and he comes bringing diplomacy, peace, the elixir, put the past behind you. It's interesting, like I said, we inherit it all. We inherit the good, the bad, the ugly. Ten of Pentacles has a dark aspect to it. One of the dark aspects of the Ten of Pentacles is that it can be dirty. You inherit dirty family secrets or a family of origin where there's child abuse and all kinds of other horrible things that are going on. So Ten of Pentacles can have a dark aspect. So we move out of gridlock. We move towards cooperation. The economics are much improved. We're coming out of the slump that happened because of COVID. I don't see a major hit because of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence changes how we work. It changes how we write, but we're still working as hard as ever. I'm still writing. I use artificial intelligence to do my research, but it still takes me forever to write a paper. It still takes me forever to get anything done. I'm more efficient because of AI, but I'm still working 14 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Queen of Swords, put the past behind you, move on. It's over. The war is over, like in Gaza. That's an example I use a lot. The war is over in Gaza, and now Hamas is going to leave. They're going to go to a host country, and they're not happy about that because they want to continue to kill Gazans and kill Israelis. And what I have said about that is you were a soldier and you thought you were doing what was best for Gaza. You thought you were going to kill all the Jews and die and have 72 virgins. I mean, you believe this. So we get it. Time to move on. So the Queen of Swords moves on. She puts the past behind her. She forgives people. The past is the past, and there's nothing we can do to change it. So the takeaway here is we can't do anything about the past. We must focus instead on it's the Stoics card to go forward, think about the future, not about the past. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is they've been bankrupted because they can't get access to their money. But it goes back to this idea of not that we forgive you for what you did in the past, but we need to put the past behind us. You were a soldier, take the deal, go to Algeria or Tunisia or some other host country. But you can't stay in Gaza. You've hurt too many people, right? So the past is done, move on. It's over. We're divorced. We have no relationship. I don't want to sit around hemming and hawing about what a horrible spouse you were, right? It's that kind of energy. Grieving about what a terrible president Trump is when he's gone, right? It's not helping. Helping is moving forward, healing, putting the past behind us, bravely going forward to this new energy of the great rejoicing, the Three of Cups. The Archangel Raphael meets us, the Empress, a treasure trove. I'm really believing also that environmental science and this new way of producing massive amounts of food in small containers and in creative ways where we have used less pesticides. There's a huge future in that because I feel also with that Empress in the fourth house that the planet is healing tremendously. Even the opposition cards are positive with the World and the Nine of Cups moving in. So I just feel like we're entering into a really positive phase, and the universe is cautioning us to not hold on to the past, and instead, you must go forward now. You must go forward into your future. The Queen of Swords does not look back. Yes, and she's got her Buddhist beads on her left hand. I always think that that's really cool. She's got those Buddhist beads hanging, right? Very stoic lady. Okay, how you feeling about all that? How you feeling about the collective? Want to talk about it? Yes, no? Yeah, so the economy is slowly the economy will be extremely stable in the next 2 to 3 years. We will have a very stable economy. No, it's not going to be death and destruction. Those cards, no way, not with an Empress in the fourth house. That's what's coming in is wealth. And also our karma card was dancing in the streets with a Three of Cups. I'm not worried about us. This is more saying you are cautioned. You will inherit what you work for as a nation, but you must be willing. The time will come when you must put this behind you. We can't continue to bitch about Trump after he's gone. It's counterproductive. You voted for that in 2024. What are we voting on now? That's basically what Spirit is saying. Yeah. Qatar and Iran are the main, funders, but, as well as Hezbollah with Iran, but they're seriously being when you give to, Free Palestine, the money is transferred to terrorist groups in many cases. That's the problem with these groups is that they buy weapons to kill Jews. And Hamas was an Iranian-backed militia. It was Iran wants to kill Jews. They want to gas the Jews. We are Nazis. Exterminate the Jews. Thanks for the money. More money to kill Jews. Like all the people that were killed on the beach in Bondi, Australia, because they committed the crime. They weren't even living in Israel. They were living in Australia, lighting Hanukkah candle on the beach. So somebody opened fire and killed 8 people and wounded a bunch more. So that's where your money's going. And it's, that is the corruption. That is the corruption. And that's why Hamas has to leave. FDR was in worse shape during his final months. His last trip to Iran, early 1994, almost killed him. Yeah. So I think that it's probably a good idea that Trump not take major flights because I don't think he can handle it. Yeah. Yes, trade route. You're right, Linda. Absolutely, Linda. It's always about trade. It's like the first vision I had when I started doing remote for the show is I came out of my body and I floated back to see the globe and I was drawn to the trade routes and I was just watching trade. It's like, it's all about trade. I hadn't really thought about it. Yes, I'd heard about the Silk Road. I'd heard about Spain trying to find a way to get to the New World, but I didn't know it was truly all about trade, that every war is about a trade route, they're holding that trade route. Don't give up this group, the Kurds, because the Kurds are holding the line. Russia wants that trade route. Well, then Russia's going to go make a new trade route. China's going to go make new trade routes, right? So it was always about the trade routes. Yeah. The cards are really optimistic. It's really hard for me to get depressed when our karma is the 3 of Cups. A great rejoicing is upon us. And when you have the Empress in the 4th house, which is things to come, is abundance. And then the crossing card, Ace of Wands, entrepreneurship, business, and then strength, healing. 6th house, Archangel Raphael. Now is the time for us to heal. We're entering into a time of a great healing. I'm feeling good about those cards. I don't know. I'm getting the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away. But yeah, that is what's going on, folks. That is what's going on. Will NATO agree to invade Russia since Putin is threatening Europe? Well, you know me, Joel. I hate to say I told you so, but the data is the data. I feel like a broken book sometimes. A broken record, is that what they call it? I feel like a broken record. When I'm not playing the Oracle of Whimsy, I'm a real researcher. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm an anthropologist. I'm a medical anthropologist, and I was trying to contribute to the rebuild of Gaza. So I was trying to develop communities there. But this is something that I worked out this was December 20th, 2023. This was the rebuild. This was because I wanted to do the rebuild. What would it take for us to be able to do the rebuild? And I was happy that Joe Biden and then Donald Trump adopted the first 3 phases. That made me feel good. I'm happy I got it right. So what happens in these kinds of situations where a civilian will write the IDF, write the State Department? Hi, my name is Dr. Whimsy Anderson. I'm an anthropologist. I'm a civilian researcher. These are the phases I've calculated. I'd like you to challenge my data. See if you've got the time, that'd be great. This is the least amount of deaths calculated. And this is the First three phases would be to get to ceasefire, to exchange hostages, then Hamas goes to a host country. Third would be to adopt the Oasis 1 protocol, the Anderson Oasis protocol, or the rebuild on the eastern side of Gaza, which is now starting to happen. But Hamas has agreed to disarm and leave. 4 is that Putin must be arrested and tried sooner rather than later, as he poses an existential threat. And as long as he's there, he's going to be threatening bombing the Zaporizhia, nuclear weapons, in war. He's threatening World War III. He's threatening to take over the world. So there really is no way to get out of this. And you think about the fact that this was written December 20th, 2023. That gives you an idea of how long the intelligence agencies knew the phases. They had to test them. They had to check the phases. It was adopted May of 2024, or that Biden adopted them? So, they have to run it through their own researchers and see if they came to the same idea. So they came up with the same exact phases. So now Trump has adopted those 3 phases because that's the data. So you can't really argue with the data. So same with Trump, ceasefire, phase 2, exchange of hostages. So we've completed phase 2. We've gotten the last of even those who have died. The only thing left to do is negotiating. Hamas has to leave. They can't stay. So they're being paid to leave. So then what's the next on the list, Joel? They turn their attention towards Putin and the dismantling of Iranian leadership, which has already started. They've already started softening both targets. They've come out, Israel has come out and said they stand with Zelensky, right? That was probably what caused Putin to organize October 7th massacre, right? He was mad at the Israelis. So he met with Hamas and they had a nice time. They'd been planning it for months, but he definitely helped, and he was not happy with Israelis at the time. But yeah, I think the only answer, Joel, unless you guys have a better plan, because I'd love to hear it. Elon Musk says the plan should be to give Russia what they want. That's Elon's idea. I think Trump's going to be fired. I think he's going to be fired, and I think that J.D. Vance is going to have a different policy when it comes to Russia, and I think that it will not make Trump happy, and I think that Trump will have to leave, and he will have to sit in the background and accept the fact that he's gone, because I'm feeling that this attitude is going to change and that there's a new president coming on. April, a new president. The emperor shows up around April. And Trump is contained. I don't think it's up to Trump. I mean, step 4, look, they've agreed with me so far. I mean, I'm not trying to I'm not being conceited. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm just saying the data is the data. So far, how you have to view this is that so far, see, you have power. You have power because you have seen the data. The rest of the world hasn't seen what you've seen. You had the data 2-3 years ago, right? 2 years ago, December of 2023. You knew 2 years ago, you knew what was coming. You knew that we were going to get to ceasefire. You knew that there was going to be exchange of hostages, and you knew that Hamas was going to have to be lured to a host country. And then you knew there was going to be a rebuild, and you knew they were going to start on the eastern side, and you had a pretty good idea of what the design was. So you're cool. You're cool people, right? You got this information. You've also got phase 4. Do you think if phase 4 was happening that they would make it public information? Do you think the powers that be would publicly say, "Oh, yeah, we're taking him out. We're taking Putin out. Just don't you worry. Don't you wait and see. We're taking him." No, they would not talk about it. They would let crazy happen publicly while privately planning something else. If they're following this exact, the 5 phases, if they're this precise and they have not deviated at all from they just haven't. They have not deviated from the 5 phases. So if they haven't deviated from the 5 phases, we can assume, based on that information, that that is exactly what's going to happen and that Putin is going to be removed. I didn't say march on Moscow. I said that he would have to be contained. This is what they're starting. You see the security area over here on the left? That area, they've already started this rebuild. This is where people are going right now that are Gazans, and this area will become part of the new Gaza, and it will stretch into parts of Egypt, and Egypt's going to give the space once Hamas is gone. So we're just waiting for Hamas to leave. But until then, we've already started this security perimeter. Marag, entering through the Marag corridor, which means, yay, we get to start work on zones. We're starting zones 1 and 2 now, and we've also started to do some work on zone 4, which is this roundabout area you see here. So good news. If you love peace and if you care about Palestinian rights, you should be happy about that. That's good news. All right. Is Trump actually receiving daily infusions? That is a really good question. I would love to find out about that. You know, I don't think that's what's causing the bruising, and I don't think that's why he's getting tested every 3 months. I think the most obvious answer is dual anti-platelet therapy, Plavix and aspirin, right? Clonopidogrel, is that how you pronounce it? His situation has not improved. I feel that the patient is crashing. I feel if this were my patient, his vitals are crashing. It's a lot of it's his heart. I feel like this person has advanced congestive heart failure and he's crashing. He can't stay awake. He can't get oxygen to the brain. His system is collapsed, crashing. There's a major change happening over his health. The best and the brightest are there trying to help him. He doesn't, but they stand in his opposition, the academics. They've done everything they could to save his life. That's what it looks like. I'm sorry, this presidency is over. This presidency is over. I can't spin this. I know we have Trump supporters that watch here also. I welcome everybody. If you did vote for, I'm sorry. I can't spin this. Even if you did want him to death and the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles goes nowhere. It's over. It's the end of the road. I don't think he's agreeing with his doctors because the scholars and academics are in his house of opposition. He's going through a major change right now. He's extremely angry. And a good, strong virus could take him out. If this guy catches COVID or something like that, he's gone. He will not survive COVID. And there's a virus right over him. So they have to be very careful about who gets into that room. If they've got a cold, this guy's immune system's been compromised. That's his second problem now. He's also at high risk for developing cancer. We did that was something that Chuck and I noticed when we did his profile, that he's at the highest risk for developing cancer. due to his age, due to his diet. He probably has type 2 diabetes, which they're covering up, congestive heart failure, obesity. Um, his immune system is probably trashed. This patient is crashing. Knight of Swords can be a virus. It's a violent attack. In Chinese medicine, this is the metal element. The metal element. Y'all want to talk a little bit about that? You want to talk a little bit about the metal element? What does the metal element signify? What are the organs that we associate with the metal element? Anybody know about that? So the tarot, there are 4 suits. In Chinese medicine, there are 5. So wands and fire are closely related. So wood and fire are closely related. So wood gives birth to fire. So 12 years ago, we were in the wood horse, and I talked a lot about how the wood horse would give birth to wood gives birth to fire. So the next time the horse came around, he came as fire. So that's the Knight of Wands in the tarot. But when we look at swords, if we're looking at swords, that's a problem, because swords, if you come down here on the bottom, is the metal element. And the metal element is associated with lungs and large intestine, and that's where viruses can attack. And so angry metal energy can be an angry assault of the lungs and the large intestine, often from a virus. If it's an issue of health, then I usually count it as viral. That is the metal element, and it is associated with the swords. So yes, Chinese medical theory can be found in the tarot. The wands or staff are associated with the wood and fire elements, and Sun and Mars, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, right? And then you get into the earth elements, the metal elements, the water, each giving birth to the next. But the metal element, to have the metal element over him would indicate that this man, if anything's going to take him out right now, they got to keep him away from anybody that has any kind of an infection. A lot of seniors die from adult respiratory distress syndrome. I just don't see. I don't think this guy can travel. I think that his health. I don't think that they expected his health. Everything started crashing. His congestive heart failure, he had another heart attack. He's had at least 2. Then he possibly had a stroke. Then they placed stents. Then his stents failed, possibly sometime after the election in late November. This is when he went missing. And so then they think his stents had to be replaced. And he's on dual platelet therapy. So now they're probably checking him for that. Then I don't see so much about the mental, but the mental health issues. I wouldn't be surprised if he was also on an experimental Alzheimer medication, but that's not going to save this guy. He has no immune system left, and his heart is collapsing. And he's being advised, rest and go nowhere, which is what you would say to a congestive heart failure patient in this situation. And he's probably getting IV diuretics for water overload because his heart can't pump. So 4 of Pentacles is to withdraw or retract, and that's basically saying he has to withdraw. It's over. Knight of Pentacles, retract, and there's a virus right over him with death. Damn, buddy. I cannot spin this. I cannot. It's angry metal. The angry metal attacks the lungs and the large intestine. There you go. I can't spin this. Everyone dies. Everyone grows old. And there comes a point when we just there comes a point when your body cannot recalibrate, when it can't get to homeostasis. No matter how many drugs you throw at somebody, they're not going to be able to get to homeostasis. The only way they can get him to homeostasis is they're telling him, stop moving around. Four of Pentacles, retract, go nowhere, stay in bed, take your vitamins. But his opposition are his doctors, his scholars. Those are the people he's fighting with. I'm not going to stop eating my cheeseburgers. I'm going to go wherever the hell. Well, great. Then you're going to have another heart attack. And that's precisely what happened. So he's not a good patient. Yeah, I think we're looking at that. No, they give him the honor of resigning, and then he won't, give him the honor of resigning, and then he won't be humiliated. That's what I'm thinking. And if they don't do it, the Senate will. The House will. The House will come in. There is no loyalty because the constituents hate him. So there's no the only people that might be loyal are deep red, but you can't win an election this way. It's just not going to happen. A new kid in town. There's a new contract that's coming. 3 of Pentacles. So we're asking about the Articles 25 to have him removed due to health reasons. I would say the evidence is definitely growing. Their opposition is too much kindness. 6 of Pentacles, too much mercy. It came up before. Maybe this is not the guy that you want to have mercy towards. Hopes and fears that it's the end. The 4 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Yes. I'm sorry, Joel. I'm sorry to anyone who voted for President Trump, but they have been steadily working on evidence against him. That is the reason why he had all those tests run. It's to build a case against Trump. And they feel, based on this remote, that they have enough evidence now to remove him with Article 25. It's the ultimate betrayal, 10 of Swords. 3 of Pentacles is to present a blueprint for the building of something. It can be a case in a court case. It can be the building of a house in real estate. And it can be a case against the president, which, because of the nature of the question. The opposition, too much mercy. Suicidal empathy, as God Said would say. Even though he's a conservative, I agree with him about that. No, it's over. I can't, you guys. Yeah. The judgment is that he can't continue. He doesn't have much longer to live, I don't think. Yeah. He will be abandoned by his constituents. The 5 of Pentacles. Poverty, exile, often leaving people or situations that drag us down. Saying goodbye to the broken man. Saying goodbye to the broken man. The 5 of Pentacles stands as the final outcome. With a 10 of Swords, they will betray him. They will abandon him. How y'all feel about that? Is it everyone for himself? Is that what life is about? Is that what it is to be human? We love and love and love and love, but there comes a point when we have to save ourselves and just let the person die, and we just move on and go and try and save ourselves, because that 10 of Swords is to be stabbed in the back and betrayed by his own. It's not looking good for Donnie. Let's not forget, every time we have compassion for people who have abused and mistreated us, it always comes and bites us in the tuchus. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what happened here, is that they tried initially to show him a lot of compassion, but eventually they had to give the judgment that it's over. It goes nowhere. The evidence, the hope and fear, the Queen of Cups. Interesting, the Queen of Cups is kind of has a dark aspect where she can dream her life away. So it could be that the president is dreaming his life away and in denial. Four of Swords also would be samadhi or deep meditation, or to stop next to a Ten of Swords with a. This is looking really bad. Final outcome: Ten of Swords is when somebody betrays you or when you're stabbed in the back by those you trusted, and Five of Pentacles is poverty and to abandon often people that drag us down. He's the guy that's like, can I have another quarter? I can barely feed myself. Oh, come on, buy me a latte, buy me a latte. I had a girlfriend that had to break up with her boyfriend because it was just he was that way. And she was like struggling to keep her business afloat. He's like, this is great. She's got a nice car and a business. I'll just move in. And next thing you know, she had like a 200-pound baby, and he was like spending all this money. And the final straw was when he demanded she buy a latte. I think she dropped him off at his car that was getting fixed in the garage and then never came back. I think he just keep driving, girl. Keep driving. Woo, that's rough. Yes, last parting words, buy me a latte. And people will become infants the more you pamper them. I do this too. When people pamper, the soup's cold. Put it back in the mic. The more spoiled we get, the more of a baby we become, right? So Five of Pentacles comes in to remind us, I got to get away from you. I can't do it. Yeah, he's not the cool kid anymore. And this is the cool school, and they want to be with the cool kids. And if he is not cool, then they'll just go off and be with the new cool kid. Who's got the power now? Oh, he doesn't have the ring. He's not powerful anymore. You're out of here. Who's got the ring? Who's got the ring? Oh, JD Vance, I love you. You're great. It's JD Vance. He's a god. Anything to get on his cabinet, right? Oh my goodness. People are terrible to one another. Don't you think we people can be so terrible to one another? Yes, I stopped coughing. We had a good rain, and the dust and the allergy finally cut. It was a nightmare. I hate when I get allergies. Yeah, cough went away about a week ago. Had a little bit of it a couple days ago, but I just think it was an allergy and I had a little bit of a cold also. I get these little colds when I fly. Yeah, but the cough went away, so I'm glad. I'm glad about that. Okay, Iran's Khomeini still in hiding. Will he be removed? Okay, let's take a look. I think it goes back to those 5 phases. Yes, of course he will be removed. He has to be removed. Do we have a choice, Joel? I mean, I don't think so. They're hell-bent on building nuclear weapons and killing the Jewish Jews. They're going to kill all the Jews, right? They're an existential crisis, right? So Iran is an existential crisis, and so because it's an existential crisis, it will fall. Iran's Khomeini. There he is. People are afraid of him, and they're afraid of the people around him. And there is a tension or block of information and communication between him and other people. So his world has become this isolated kingdom. And that's what it looks like. Something is going to be happening in the next 30 days, and I don't know if it's war or what it is, but yes, he got the same cards as Trump. 5 of Pentacles. He will be abandoned, and Israel will resume its assaults against Iran. Ace of Wands is moving in, and that's territorial, and it's a fight for territory that will result in Khomeini being removed. I would say this April card is looking interesting, but tensions breaking out within 30 days. Also, Hezbollah, which is their proxy army, is terrorizing people in Lebanon. Lebanon wants them to please get out. And so that's happening now. So it's just part of it would be great if Iran becomes a friendly nation, if the Shah's son comes in just to stabilize until they can create a democracy, which is the only thing he wanted to do. He doesn't want to rule or anything. He believes in democracy. But if that could come in, then we would see an end to a lot of the fear people have about war in the Middle East. Yeah, crazy times we live in, isn't it? Isn't it crazy times we live in? All right. Did you all have fun today? Did you have a good time? I hope so. Did you have a good brunch? Everybody hopefully enjoy. Oh, by the way, did you see the SNL? Remember when I told you that Trump was on a yo-yo of Ambien and sleeping pills? I guess it somehow made its way to SNL. And so they did a cold open where he said, "Yeah, I've decided I'm taking the Ambien and the Adderall together, and I'm gonna see what happens when I go up and I'm gonna go down." They did a whole routine about like Paul Simon's song "Paraphernalia." I remember we talked about paraphernalia. You take downs to get off to sleep and ups to start you on your way. And that he was on that yo-yo. So yeah, check out Saturday Night Live where they actually made a joke about it. So that was kind of cool. You see, everything is connected. We're all communicating. We're all bleeding into the collective consciousness. It's very cool. All right. Thank you all for hanging with me. We've been here close to an hour and a half, so I think I'm going to call it quits. If you need to see me for a tarot reading or a medical consultation and guidance, I would love to help you. That information is below. I'll be back at work tomorrow, a Monday, and Tuesday. Chuck and I have a large show. We're very excited. We have our guest coming in who wrote, I don't have the book because I've been reading it, Dreams Need Feet to Walk In. Yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. All right. So, and then I guess Wednesday I'll be going to a friend's for Christmas. I might be able to do a Hot Topics Thursday. We'll see. But I don't think so because it's going to be Christmas Eve, so probably not. All right, you guys. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you next time. And thank you everyone also who donated to our charity today. I forgot to mention that the charity today, I believe, is World Kitchen. Is that correct? So if you had any joy, if any joy was to be had from today's get together, please think about donating to the World Kitchen. 100% of the money donated goes to World Kitchen, and they feed people in need all over the world, including 1 million meals in Gaza. So we give them much love and gratitude for all of the services they provide to people in disaster areas. All right. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.